Yokoso, my manga society. So, we're back with the last deluxe drifting classroom volume. So we did reach the end, and here we're gonna talk about just like the entirety of the volume.
Yay, it's always exciting when you finish a series.
It's exciting, and it was kind of crazy too. I feel like some of the things I was thinking about actually happened, or some of the things I predicted kind of happened in a way.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I feel like it was all unexpected for me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I mean, the way it happened was pretty unexpected, but yeah.
Okay, excited to talk about it. But before we do, we wanted to tell you what our next series will be that we're picking up from the library. So what is it, Snupkin?
So we'll be reading Gachiakuda. So I know everyone's kind of raving about it right now, and there's a bunch of volumes already out, so we're extremely excited. People are hyping it up a lot, so there will be a lot to talk about when we read those.
I have really high expectations for it.
Me too.
So exciting to get in on a series before watching the anime.
Yeah, the anime is coming out soon, so that'll be cool.
All right.
So, last time we ended with them finding that like dark room going down the stairs. Mm-hmm. And so they find out that it's like a subway station, basically.
Yeah.
And there's a ghost train. There's like a train running. I was like, is there a society of people living underneath like the surface? And there kind of is.
There kind of was.
Not what I was exactly expecting.
So these creatures we saw in volume 2, the students were turning into these. But the thing that was unexpected was that they actually talk.
They talk. They're like, they can speak their language.
So they're basically like an advanced form of humans who adapted to this future apocalyptic landscape. So they're like an evolved form of humans, essentially.
Yeah. But they don't like the old humans. They're kind of like trying to, well, I don't know if they're trying to transform them, or they just kind of started transforming once they ate those mushrooms. But they played this tape, which was interesting.
So this was interesting because I guess this story has like this environmental message about how humans are treating the planet. And it was basically the humans' fault that this future is such a wasteland.
Yeah. It's pretty much like the whole, yeah, like you said, like humans are destroying the environment. And that's basically what happened. And they were like, guys, this really isn't that much further into the future. This is a pretty close future to where we were in the past. Because I was thinking this was like thousands of years in the future.
Yeah, me too.
But this is probably only like, maybe like, I don't know. Because Shu was like looking for his mom even. He was like, or Sho. He was like,
yeah.
What if my mom's down here?
It's always so interesting because this was written in the 70s, so it's like, in the 70s, the author thought to like write a horror series about environmental issues, and it's kind of like lo and behold, you know?
Kind of ahead of its time, almost.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I thought that was really interesting, putting that like historical context into it.
But yeah, we get that scene with like the explanation, and then they're kind of like, I think this was like one of the first advanced humans or evolved humans. They're kind of like pointing at it and being like, behold, our ancestor.
Yeah.
But they're hiding behind this couch, and here are some of the other students that kind of like ran away after eating the mushrooms. Mm-hmm. They're like transforming, and then they get caught. So now they're just kind of running.
This design of these monsters are so grotesque. I like it though.
It's so interesting.
Yeah.
So you have the face of like the human, the prior human, and then you have like its actual eyeball. I don't know, it's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
They get to like Tokyo Station, and then they find like a bunch of humans that aren't alive, and they're kind of like mummified. And then they find like a human that's still alive. I was like, no
that was kind of
way.
weird, but they died right away.
Yeah, from shock, I think.
Yeah. I guess that makes sense.
Yeah. I think they're just trying to find a way to escape.
And they find this water pipe that's actually, is it a volcano? Is that what it was?
I think so. I think it's like a volcano, and it starts like kind of exploding.
So now they have to run away from this.
They have to get out of this station.
This kind of reminded me of that part in Alice in Borderland, if you remember.
The geyser?
The
like
geyser game. So now they're playing that.
They're in Borderland now. And Sho's mom is basically just trying to write like letters and throwing them out in the ocean, hoping that they'll reach Sho at some point.
Right.
Because she knows he's like in the future, kind of. And now they're like starting in the present time, they're starting to find like these natural disasters that kind of caused this future.
It's kind of sad though, because this whole time no one really believes Sho's mom.
No, it's kind of, yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I kind of get it.
It makes sense.
I kind of get it, but it's like, that sucks.
Yeah. Anyways, back to the future. There's an earthquake. They're just kind of trying to leave. And then some of the building, or not building, but some of the station collapses, and some of them get left behind. I think Sho was kind of stuck back there.
They eventually get out.
Tomo starts accusing Sho of like the whole planting the dynamite in the school.
Oh.
And later we learned that's not true. But he kind of like starts fighting him because he's just trying to like, you know, pin it on him. So they're having like this fight, and then the evolved humans show up again.
Oh yeah. I didn't know they could do this.
And they can shoot webs.
They can shoot webs.
What are these, like Spider-Man?
Spider-Man.
Like, geez, is this what an actual Spider-Man would look like? Ew, that's so gross.
I know.
Dude, that'd be like horrible.
And the more they struggle, they like can't get out.
Yeah, and they can't like kill them. They're like pretty hard and indestructible.
Yeah. Oh, they run back to the school, but it's barricaded.
Yeah.
Oh, I actually almost picked this as my favorite panel too, just because I thought it was so funny. Like they shoot the webs and then they're like using that as a ladder to walk up.
Yeah. So smart.
I mean, I could see why they're the evolved
Yeah.
humans.
Oh, and then Sekya's like running the show at the school.
He's making the girls sing for him while he eats dinner.
Dude. He's like a dictator at this point. He like runs the school.
And then he hears the evolved humans coming, and then he's like, soldiers, go.
Dude.
And they start like just jumping off the building with their spears.
They just do what he says. Oh my gosh, dude, they just jump off. Oh, Sekya drives away.
This panel was
Oh,
funny.
dude, he's like,
They try,
why
but
is he
he's
so
in a
smart?
car. I know, he's like, it's almost like he enjoys this in a way.
I feel like if he had the choice, he would just stay in this world so he could rule over these 6th graders.
I could see that. And then this next part was interesting. So they actually show like talks to the evolved humans and then kind of like convinces them to leave them alone.
Oh, I forgot about this.
They're kind of like reasonable.
Yeah. Because he's just kind of like, you're still human, we're human, like, what are you doing this for? Yeah.
It's a new monster. Yeah, starfish, I guess. And I guess this is what's preventing them from leaving the school now
At
because
this point, yeah.
they're just like crawling all over the school grounds.
Oh my gosh, where'd they come from? So yeah, they're just kind of crawling all over the school.
Oh yeah, he tries eating it, but it's
That's
gross.
And then they start quarreling again.
These guys are always fighting.
I know.
Well, I guess later you find out like why he's so
Yeah,
mad.
right.
Oh, isn't this when they like split up all their provisions?
I think so. So they let their birds go. Not
at
on
their point-
purpose.
Yeah. At this point, they're kind of like, because there's like a struggle for leadership. So then Sho is like, okay, we're just gonna split up everything evenly, and if you want to stay in the school, you can.
Right.
But if you want to leave, you're free to leave with the stuff in your backpack.
Right. So Otomo brings some guys with him, and they go to like another building on like the campus grounds or whatever.
Yeah.
So they kind of have different buildings now.
Right. So it's like Sho's camp and then Otomo's camp.
Yeah. But then that just starts more like issues because Otomo's squad is trying to like infiltrate their building to get like equipment and stuff. Mm-hmm. Like here. And so they start fighting, and I believe one of them actually dies, and they're kind of like, we weren't actually gonna hurt you, but how are they supposed to know? You have weapons.
No, this was
You
self-defense.
break into their building.
Yeah.
Have weapons. Like, what are you supposed to do?
But this was really crazy though, because I'm trying to think back, was this Sho's actual like first human kill?
I think so.
Because he's always like been pretty like, he stands up for his morals.
Yeah.
So this really affects him.
Yeah, it does.
It was self-defense though.
It was.
But I mean, it still feels wrong.
Yeah, for sure. And this is where he
gets appendicitis.
gets appendicitis.
No.
Your right side, the right side. Oh, now you know it's appendicitis. Like, what are you gonna do now? You have to get, what, surgery?
This was horrifying. So they have to do emergency surgery. If you remember, like a few volumes ago, this student, his dad is a doctor. So then they kind of like push him to do the surgery.
Dude, I was kind of surprised with how much like medical issues there's like going on.
Yeah.
Surgeries, you have to get some medicine, like, I guess that makes sense though. But to get appendicitis right now, like that's so unlucky.
I know.
So Otomo's squad tries to like come back again. And it's just like, go away. But then once they leave, they get attacked by like the starfish. Okay, so this is where they do appendicitis like surgery on him while he's awake, right? He's just
Yeah,
awake.
because they don't have, wait, what is that called? Anesthetics.
Anesthetics. Anesthesia.
And I almost picked this as my favorite panel because it was just so horrifying.
They're doing surgery on him while he's awake. They're taking his appendix out.
Wow, like a 6th grader.
Jeez. That's insane.
This was crazy. And then she, Sakiko, yeah. She's running out to get Lily of the Valley, which they're saying is an anesthetic.
But it's in the other squad's garden.
Yeah, so there's a huge fight here.
Yeah, they get attacked.
There's like casualties from this. I mean, I know why she wanted to go out there, but at the same time. So they took out his appendix. It's all rotten.
Jeez.
And then he's like losing so much blood.
Oh, right. They need to find like a blood donor.
I know. Yeah. So now they're gonna do like a blood transfusion.
Dude, that's crazy. I think Sakiko has the same blood, but she's like out fighting now for this anesthetic.
Look at them.
Dude.
They're like getting chopped in the head.
Okay, so they got it. He's kind of like passed out, so they don't even like need it anymore. But yeah, they need to do a blood transfusion.
They start doing this like blood transfusion train,
It's crazy.
like on all these people. But I guess
Jeez.
that was good.
These kids are pretty smart.
Yeah.
Actually. So yeah, basically he lives. I think he wakes up. This girl passes out.
This was interesting. So they like found out that the reason Sho is able to communicate with his mom is because her, Nishi, she has like some sort of psychic connection.
Yeah.
She can like do it for some reason.
She's the reason he
Yeah.
can communicate. Yeah.
She's like the vessel.
And so like his mom starts talking through her.
That's his mom's voice
Yeah.
coming out of her mouth.
So they start talking to Sho's mom. Sho wakes up. They turn the school grounds into a garbage dump because what else are you going to use it for, I guess?
She sends him like a care package
She throws it in the dump, right?
on the school grounds.
Yeah. And then this crazy,
The queen.
the queen, that's the queen. She looks like old and decrepit
Yeah.
for some reason.
She's like from volume 1.
Yeah. So she needs like water because they left the school. They like just went off on their own.
She said she had found paradise where they
Yeah.
had water and food. But she came back.
But I was so confused 'cause then why does she like look like that?
Right. So then they're trying to figure out if she was telling the truth or not because she like croaks soon after.
Yeah. So the new humans are eating the starfish. They're like sucking its blood. And then they leave into a giant like worm's mouth to their death. Like I don't understand why they did that. I mean, nothing really
Yeah,
makes sense.
they never. Is that their home? Or is that how they get like transported to different places?
I don't know. But it slithers away, so that's good.
And then here's where they spot some smoke in the distance, smog.
Some poisonous smoke. Yeah, smog.
Yeah. So then they have to leave because it's coming towards the school.
Yeah, they're forced to. Nishi is still like passed out, so Sho kind of like carries her with them while they're leaving the school.
He's pretty brave.
He's brave. He like will not leave anyone behind.
Yeah.
Admirable.
Yeah, exactly. And they get to this huge chasm, and then they don't have time to like find a good spot where it connects, so
The
they all
smog
have
is
to.
coming.
It's coming, so they all have to jump.
They have to jump.
I can already imagine if I tried doing this, I would slip and fall right in the crack.
Holy.
You could do it.
I'll do that one maneuver on you where I'm swinging you.
Where you're swinging me around. No way. So they send, well, like one of the guys does it. Is it Otomo?
Yeah, Otomo does it, and then
Successfully.
this guy falls.
And
So
then-
some people do fall.
Right. And then they send the first graders over.
Because each time they jumped, it carves like some of the rock off the chasm, so it
Right.
increases the distance each time. So to give the first graders a better chance, they're letting them go first.
You makes it.
Yeah,
Because you're scared he's gonna like push
push
him.
him.
But he doesn't.
He grabs him, actually helps him up. So everyone else goes. Some people fall. And then
Your favorite panel.
Nishi, okay, my favorite panel. Nishi is still unconscious. So how are you supposed to get her across? You fucking swing her around like a tire swing or something, and then you chuck her across.
Use the momentum?
Dude.
You gotta be pretty strong to do that to a human.
She'll be feeling that when she wakes up. Jeez.
And then they jump last, Sakiko and Sho, but they make it.
They make it. And then they reach what
Whoa.
they say is like a flying saucer, but when they go in it, they realize that this is paradise, that what the queen was talking about.
And it's like an amusement park.
Yeah.
Or like an interactive museum, sort of.
So they find Marilyn Monroe.
And then, like, all the the robotic things start coming after them.
What the
It's like,
heck?
what is that all about?
What's that all about? It killed one of the kids. Marilyn Monroe, what are you doing? But it's so like old that it's like starting to tear apart too. But like the fact that it's like killing these kids, what's going on?
So it's like a history, like one of those interactive like history museums.
Museum, yeah.
Except the robots are like almost like sentient, I guess.
Are they like all AI?
I think that's what it is. I think they're just like real high tech.
Yeah.
Because the dinosaur, okay, but why are the dinosaurs acting like real dinosaurs? Like,
Okay,
that's a
they
little
do not
dangerous.
put AI in dinosaurs, please. That's a horrible idea. But yeah, they find dinosaurs. Then those start running after them. Like, who'd even want to come to this museum, like, when it wasn't the apocalypse, you know? What the?
Do you think they'll try inventing like robotic zoos, but it's like they act like wild animals?
I could see that. I could see that.
That would be a little scary.
That'd be scary.
It's just like showing different time periods.
Yeah, with like robots and stuff.
Yeah. And then they get to one that was like their present day. And it's just like a bunch of skyscrapers and buildings, and they find a building with a bunch of food, but they can't get to it.
They can't get to it. I think it's like all fake. It's just like
that makes sense.
It's just displays.
Right. Because it would have like rotted.
Right. So.
But they're like so hungry, they're all losing their minds, you know?
Yeah.
That's what I always have to keep in mind too, like when they're all acting so violent and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm like,
it's been a while.
Yeah. They've been eating like crumbs.
Yeah. Otomo's squad is going after them too. And then they reach like a super high-tech AI computer. And they're trying to like ask it questions about like what has happened and stuff.
Because this is when they find out that like the reason why they came over, or like how they were able to come over.
Right, because when they asked it what happened, they were like, or what happens in the future, the robot was saying like, they find a new source of energy and like the whole world's filled with like greenery and stuff like that. And they're like, you liar, look, it's a desert. And then I guess then they ask it like how this could happen and how to get back, I guess.
Oh yeah, and it tells them how to get back.
Yeah.
They say they have to go back to the school.
Because that's where the energy is the strongest, because that's how they got there.
And they have to create another shockwave in order to get back to their timeline.
Right. So Otomo's squad kind of like ambushes them.
This was a little terrifying too.
Yeah.
Because they start smelling meat from Otomo's squad, and they go to check it out, and And they're eating this boy.
Okay, it turns into cannibalism.
Yeah. Okay, but then when that happened, I was actually thinking back, and I'm surprised they didn't resort to that a lot sooner.
Me too.
Especially because there were like so many characters that had already died.
Yeah,
anyways.
True. I feel like maybe as a kid you don't like think of that as soon as you'd think as an adult, probably.
I see.
That's probably not like at the forefront of their minds.
Right. And this is like when they're actually, because they were always low on food, but they always had a little bit.
Yeah. They spot Sho, they kind of like start going after him. He's like trying to explain to them that they can like go back now.
Yeah. And he kind of baits them by saying like he's the one that planted the dynamite.
Right.
Even though he wasn't.
Right.
So they start like all chasing him back to the school, but that's like what he wants them to do.
Yeah. Yu kind of breaks down and he's just kind of like, I really just want to go home now. So Otomo kind of like cuts them off. They fight for a little bit.
They were fighting nonstop in this volume.
They were. But yeah, here Sho's trying to explain that they can go home. They're kind of just like, we're hungry. So everyone starts following him. They have to jump the chasm again. But eventually they do make it back to the school.
He gets stabbed in the arm.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
They're kind of like messing him up.
Oh, Sho is like trying to get everyone to help him with his plan of going back to the original timeline.
Yeah.
And then he says that he lied about planting the dynamite to get everyone to come to the school. But then you find out that it was actually Otomo who had planted the dynamite. So it's like his fault.
Dude.
But you were you were acting like it was Sho the whole time, getting
Right.
everyone against him.
Dude.
You did it.
Jeez.
And he still has dynamite in his backpack. So then their plan now is to use that dynamite.
To get back.
Yeah, use the shockwave and get back. So they gather everyone on the roof and they're like using the power of manifestation.
Yeah. They're manifesting. They're going home.
They're like, everyone just wish really hard to go back home.
And so they try it. And Sho's mom is kind of, she's like trying to get everyone else to think about the kids so that it brings more energy to them.
She like interrupts the live broadcast to tell everyone. Yeah. And I thought that they would all go back at this point.
Me too.
But they don't.
They don't because, well, the tricycle, used tricycle gets back.
And that's the only
It kind of
thing.
worked.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure the reason it didn't get them all back was because of Sekia.
Because he was wishing.
He was like ruining the vibes, you know?
Right, I think we'll find that panel later. So then they're out of dynamite, but they're thinking the volcano that they saw in the beginning of the volume, that could create a big enough shockwave to send them back. So then it starts erupting, so they're like, okay, let's do this again. Wait, Sakiko was ruining the vibes too.
Oh, dude.
It was both of them. So here you find out that Sakiko, I mean, you can kind of deduce it, but she has feelings for Sho. And she actually kind of like, I mean, it's horrifying being here, but she likes that she can spend time with him. So she was like...
And they were playing like Mama and Papa for you.
Yeah.
So she liked that.
And she kind of ruined the vibes. Like her wish was
She wanted to
sent
stay
through.
because of that. The tricycle makes it back to the present, and this guy, like this random guy,
Yeah, this was pretty random.
said his arm just like disappeared and like the right side of his face.
Because he was on the school grounds when the school initially transported.
So it was probably just like those parts that were like on the school grounds. So it's like,
Yeah. And his arm and part of his head is like still at the school.
It's at the school.
So we'll see when that'll come back
Yeah.
and play.
He says he can like see like the desert.
And then you find out why Otomo has been like so pissed at Sho this whole time, because he actually likes Sakiko, which you can deduce as well.
For sure.
There's a lot of love triangles going
Yeah,
on.
I was not expecting that.
Because then they were saying Sho probably likes Nishi, and that's why he like took care of her so much.
Right. So they
The
find
drama.
Dude, it's crazy. They find water and a breeze. I think they found like an underwater spring, which I think brings up the idea of Earth's resurrection. So they go back to the school to tell everyone.
They find plants,
they find plants, yeah.
So they tell everyone.
They
it's
tell
not
everyone.
hopeless.
Yeah.
So then they're thinking that they can just continue to live in this apocalypse, since they can probably like plant stuff now, but Yu really wants to go back. So they decide to try the shockwave thing one more time for him.
And Seki is
He's ruining the
dude,
vibes.
he's like, fail. Dude. Jeez. They get like a spaceship with like supplies. I'm pretty sure it's from his mom.
I'm thinking because at the very end of the book, remember the mom gets a call from like NASA or somebody? So I think they kind of like linked up to send them a care package.
It's probably like a timed care package, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So they get equipment so that they can like kind of be here for the Earth's resurrection. They can like revive it basically. This guy's arm and eyeball.
The guy from the hospital.
The guy in the hospital hops out of Yu's backpack and kills Sekia, so that now they can like now manifest Yu going home now.
So that was my favorite panel, just because I thought Sekia was just like a ridiculously funny villain.
Yeah.
And it was just such a fitting end for someone who was like so dramatically villainous the whole time. Like, you don't get any sort of redemption. Like, this is what you are. And you tried this hard to survive, like stepping on everyone, and look, you got clawed by some phantom hand.
Dude, that's crazy.
So yeah, I don't know, I liked his, you wouldn't call it an arc, but I guess I liked his story.
Yeah.
You need like a little villain in there.
You do.
So they try really hard to send him back. Yeah, this guy's arm goes back too.
Yeah, he gets his arm and eye back, and Yu gets home as well. She visits Sho's mom and gives her Sho's like notebook, I believe. And it has some of the things he's like written down of like what they've been doing and stuff. I thought this was kind of funny because he's just like riding his bicycle home like so seriously. This guy's like, "Hey kid, what are you doing?" "I'm going home." He's like, "I'm okay on my own." After you've been through, yeah.
He has a mission now, because he was saying like, I can go back in time and study really hard to prevent the world from becoming like a wasteland in the future.
Right.
So he's gonna go
He's
home
on a
and
mission.
like,
What's this kid's story?
he's gonna crack open those books.
Dude, he's gonna do it.
But okay, so this was a really bittersweet ending though, because the kids, I mean, Yu makes it back, but no one else does.
No one else does.
So is this what you were expecting?
See, I'm pretty sure in the last video we talked about, I said I'm pretty sure that they would like stay and try to make it like work in the new world.
Oh.
In the future world. So yeah, kind of.
I thought they would all make it back.
Right.
So it's like sad. I mean, because he won't get to see his mom again, but it's also kind of hopeful because one of the really smart kids was saying that he's gonna try to build a time machine to maybe
Yeah.
go back in time. But even if that doesn't work out, I guess they were sent to the future and now they can like kind of like start like the human race
Right.
again,
Right.
make the planet livable, maybe. I mean, it sucks.
Yeah.
It's not like a happy ending.
No. She gets a call from like a scientist, and I'm pretty sure that's like kind of where it's the start of like her sending that care package and stuff. And so yeah, we see just like the ending panels of them just like running off, starting off a new civilization. So
Show's mom was saying that maybe there'll come a time when, I don't know, their timelines will be able to connect again.
right.
So yeah, overall thoughts. So this to me was something like completely unexpected because I thought this would be more of a slow burn, like suspenseful dread building sort of horror manga, but it's more like every horror you can think of like happening like boom 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 right after
Yeah.
another,
Yeah.
that it almost becomes like comical and wacky
For sure.
in a lot of areas, which is not like a negative thing. I just think it's different from what I expected, but I grew to like it. Yeah, what were your thoughts overall?
Yeah, definitely not what I was expecting. Drifting Classroom, I thought it was gonna be some sort of horror manga about like some sort of paranormal activity like haunting the classroom or something.
Oh, I see.
So I went into this like completely, but I had no idea what this was about. So yeah, this was kind of crazy, but I enjoyed it a lot. It was a good read. And I'd recommend it if you like that type of stuff that we just mentioned.
Yeah, I liked it a lot. It's more like science fiction.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's not paranormal really.
right.
But yeah, I like the apocalyptic wasteland, and then I think it just takes a lot of guts to write a story with this cast of characters.
Yeah,
Like school children,
For sure.
basically. And he didn't hold back on
no. Did
on
not
any of the horror, so
No.
that's always cool to see.
did them dirty.
It'll be probably a while before we read another one of his works, just because we like to switch things up, but I'm excited. Like, if I were to choose one of his other works, they're almost finished printing My Name is Shingo. I think they're like coming out with the last edition. So that's also science fiction, and that takes place in the future. It's about like robots, murderous
Yeah.
robots. So that seems interesting to me. What about you?
Yeah, I definitely want to read that at some point. We'll definitely, I feel like we'll probably read it like in the future. So if you want to like read it before us and then hear our thoughts on it like later on, then you could like start reading it now if you want. But no, for sure, that sounds like super interesting.
We love anything horror.
Yeah.
Horror manga, horror movies. What are your favorite horror mangas?
Yeah, let us know in the comments below. And like we said, we'll be starting Gachiakuda.
Ooh,
So stick around
excited.
for that.
A little change of pace.
Yeah. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. More videos like this will be coming up. I'll be doing May's manga haul soonish, in a couple weeks probably. And yeah, as always, this world is cruel, but at least we have manga.